Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Coming up, Jenna Zhang, Houston auto enthusiast and watch designer. We're going to get into that in just a minute. Conrad has his car clinic, and I'll have this week's automotive news. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, preparing for his vacation. And the fabulous, we need more Jeff Zekin.
Oh my goodness, here we go.
I'm Don Armstrong. Here we go. So glad that you could join us. You know what? The sunshine is out at the moment.
Is it?
I'm not going to jinx it because it already has been jinxed by the weatherman. We got more rain coming this afternoon.
Oh, boy.
But in the meantime and in between time, don't wash your car today. Instead, go and visit Jenna Zhang, Houston auto enthusiast and watch designer. Jenna, hey, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. Oh, I need to turn you on. There you go. Well,
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you. So, Jenna, you're here in the Houston area.
Yes, I am.
And a car enthusiast. What kind of car do you have?
Well, I'm currently saving up for a Vantage. I don't have it yet, but hopefully I'll have it in the next.
Yeah, saving up for an Aston Martin.
You just got Conrad's attention.
Yeah, you got my attention.
Well, that must be nice.
Stunningly beautiful cars.
Yes.
I love them.
Yeah. So
Yes.
do you go to many car meets or cruise-ins or anything?
Well, I've been to quite a few this past year. Most of the time, it's been shut down for the last year because of COVID, but things are starting up again. I went to a Lamborghini meet just a couple of weeks ago and heading off to Cars and Coffee this coming weekend.
Gotcha. Well, next weekend, next Sunday, on the 13th, we, along with a lot of other people in the Houston area, are going to a big car show called Wheelchairs for Warriors, and it's going to be at the Bayway Chevy store in Pearland, and we'd love for you to stop by and say hello to us. We're going to be doing a special broadcast from there from 2 to 5. The show itself goes 2 to 6.
We're all looking at each other. What?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Mars down here, he holds up 5 fingers or 6 fingers. I don't know what he's doing, but at any rate. So we're going to be there. We'd love to see you.
Absolutely.
All
I'd
right.
love to check you out.
So we also hear, rumor has it, that you own a watch company.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
A watch company, and you're a watch designer, and the name of the company is Olympus Watch Company. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Correct.
So basically what we do is we take supercars that have been salvaged and we strip the parts that can no longer be used, and we turn them into Swiss handmade watches, and they're one of a kind, and they're designed with the original car, the donor car, in mind. So we're inspired by the car, and we're also made with the car.
How in the world
cool.
did you come up with this? What a brilliant idea.
Thank you. Well, I've always liked cars ever since high school, and I've always liked watches. But what really struck me with this idea was during 2017, when Harvey hit. I was sitting at home by myself, and I saw a news segment talking about how badly the automotive industry was affected here in Houston, Texas.
Right.
And I really wanted to do something with those cars because they were getting sent away. And anyone who really appreciates the cars and loves the design and the stories behind it know that these pieces serve a lot more than just a utility function. They have a story behind it. They have someone who is very passionate, a designer, a manufacturer, people that worked on the cars behind it, and these stories would get tossed away if someone doesn't come in and really preserve them, especially in the coming years. So we wanted to do that, and what we do is we process these parts and we treat them and vacuum seal them so they last you for decades to come. And these are timepieces that you can hand off to your grandchildren, to your grandchildren's children, and you can continue to tell the story of, for example, the watch that we have right now, which is a Lamborghini Gallardo, to your kids and tell them this is a very iconic car of our generation, and tell them the story behind it.
So, for instance, if you design a watch with the Lamborghini parts, what part are you certainly not using the bumper to make the watch? What parts do you use inside the watch from the car?
We mainly use the body. The body is very easy to work with, but we can also, in the future, strip the seats down, the leather seats, and use them and turn them into watch straps. We can use the chassis, and practically any piece of the car that's malleable that we can use, we're going to put it in a watch.
How cool is that?
That is so cool.
Do you reach out to the original owner of the vehicle to give him first dibs on their watch?
So we also have a one-off line that we're working on right now, and people can come in with their own cars and parts that they no longer want to put in their car, and we'll turn that into a watch that's fully customizable by them. And this serves really well for the community with cars that maybe no longer run anymore, but it has a lot of sentimental value to them. For example, their grandfather owned it, and then we can design it specifically for them and have them have that as a keepsake for them in the future.
Now, are you working with somebody to help design these watches? Or are you doing this all on your own?
Well, I'm designing the watches, so I have a degree in design. I studied design in New York, Milan, and London. So after coming back, I started this own company where I do the design work. But I also work with engineers and a Swiss manufacturer. So the guy that I'm partnering up with right now, he's been in the watch industry for over 30 years. He worked with VDOAG and a plethora of very, very high-end Swiss brands during his tenure. So now he started his own production line, and our production line, I'm very proud of it. It's approved by the Swiss Federation, which means that the quality rivals that of Rolex, of Patek, and all the other big brands that you know. And so your watch is in good hands.
What? I have a question. Conrad just pulled it up on your site. Very, very beautiful product. Why stop at watches? Why not do a wall clock or maybe like a grandfather type tall clock for a room?
They're a big Flavor Flav watch I could wear.
No, not that. But going into other genres like a grandfather clock or a wall clock or something of that nature.
Because there's lots of metal in a car to do something like that.
I was going to donate an Oldsmobile Rally to you.
A yellow one.
A yellow one.
Yeah.
Their jacket.
But I'm sure. But I mean, this has all sorts of possibilities and ramifications.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to design it out of a body part,
Yeah, you could do other things. Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's not a bad idea at all. I was working with one of my mentors, and he said the same thing. He said, you need to make sunglasses, you need to make belt buckles, and
Yes.
you know, so on and so forth. And you know, we're starting off with this collection, but the possibilities are endless. And I'm going to take your grandfather clock up, and I'm going to try to make one.
Well, you know,
he needs 10% for the idea.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that, you know, in that regard, you know, they sell a bajillion of those garage clocks that have, you know, Chevrolet on it or Corvette on it. Some of them are neon lit. I mean, some of them are more expensive, more detailed. But, I mean, I guarantee you that every car guy that in the world would love to have his car on the wall.
And she could do it. Yeah, absolutely. She could do that.
Yeah. So
I can 100% do it.
I know that you could. So are you selling these all online, or do you have a retail store that you're selling these through?
Right now, we're trying to sell them all online. As a matter of fact, this collection right now is a Kickstarter launch. So we're taking pre-orders, and it's starting on July 15th. Mark your calendars. The first 100 customers to sign up will get a 55% discount off retail.
Wow.
So these watches retail for $1,000. But if you're the first 100 to back the project, you will get it for $450, which is pretty much unheard of for a Swiss handmade watch, especially in this caliber.
How long does it take to make one?
Ooh, everything is hand assembled, so it takes a little bit longer than normal, but we're looking at a 6-month lead time.
Okay.
So that include processing the car into something you can use?
Well, Conrad's got to get it started first.
Yeah.
Well, I also noticed that at least the caseback specs on your website, the VIN number of the donor vehicle is engraved on the back of the watch. How neat is that?
That's cool.
Yes, absolutely. And we're also going to add a little bonus to it. We're going to add a story of the car and the QR code, which is going to be on the authenticity card. You can scan it, and you can watch a video that talks about the story behind the car that in the watch that you got.
That is
wow.
so cool. And just in time for Christmas.
Hey.
Father's Day. Father's Day.
Yeah. No, well, I don't know. The July
Well,
15th order taking, I think we'll be doing good to get it by Christmas. But, I mean, I'm thinking that is just so cool. So what do you consider? I mean, I'm a Corvette guy. Can you do something for me?
With fiberglass?
Absolutely. Yeah, I you know what? If there's a will, there's a way. I'm gonna make it work. So right now we also are looking at a McLaren, which is made from fiberglass, and we're working on ways to make that work for us. So anything, as long as even carbon fiber, I think we can try to make it work.
So you're all the ones I've seen the pictures of. They're all men's watches. Do you?
Yes.
What about the ladies?
Yes. So I've been getting that question a lot lately because they want this to be like a Valentine's Day thing where they get a couple's watch. And it is in the works. I'm going to tell you that it is in the works. And
Okay.
we're going to make something for ladies, hopefully in the coming months.
Well, I was just curious because generally the ladies' watch is a little more. It's a little smaller, a little more
Delicate.
Delicate's a good word for it. So that it might be a little harder to build it like you're building like a men's watch that's generally probably 2 or even 3 times
With
the
the
size.
Flava Flav style.
Oh yeah, well, that's
face on it.
Conrad's side. Yeah,
Honey, where's my car? Oh, here's a watch.
that's right. Here's your Porsche right here.
Yeah. Well, this is really exciting, and what's even more exciting
cool
about it is
idea.
that you're here in Houston.
Yeah, that's cool too.
I am in Houston, yes.
What a very cool
So
idea.
obviously you've got a factory or a manufacturing facility here in Houston for these?
No, it's in
Well,
Switzerland.
in order to treat
Switzerland?
the car,
Okay.
we have our facilities are in Texas, but we ship the car parts over to Switzerland
Okay,
to get
there you go.
them finished up, and then they'll get placed into the case backs, and
Okay.
well,
Well,
they're
that's
going
an
to get
interesting.
completed there.
That's an interesting question. So the way you said that. So let's say it's a hood. So you actually ship the hood to Switzerland, or do you formulate the parts that you would need for the watches and ship
Ship the
that?
pieces of it.
So we treat the hood here, so we strip the paint off, and we create that like nice patina, and we make sure everything's all right, flatten it out, and then punch the holes out, and then we ship that to
Oh, okay.
Switzerland to get everything
Assembled.
treated in a way where it's very, very precise.
So it's
They
like a
have
raw
everything-
material going over.
Exactly.
Okay,
And
okay.
they demand a precision of up to 0.5 millimeters. So everything has to be perfect, impeccable before it goes into the watch. And I don't know if we have that kind of facility here in Houston, but they definitely have that in Switzerland.
Oh, well, I'm sure there is somewhere here in Houston, but I'm sure Switzerland's much more designed to deal with that because they've been building high-quality watches for so long.
We could do a remote from her place in Switzerland.
Yeah, that's
we
it.
could go to the
great.
factory and
Yeah.
check it
We're
out.
always looking for a road trip. Yeah. Jenny, it is
Oh,
great
Switzerland is beautiful. Yeah, you
No doubt.
love it there.
Yeah.
So the pre-order, you were talking about the pre-order beginning July the 15th. Is that done on your website?
Yes.
Oh,
So if you go on our
Conrad's already
website-
checked it out.
Conrad just ordered one.
Join the release club.
Oh, okay.
Yes, if you go on our website, you can sign up for the email newsletter, and we will give you updates leading up to the release date, which is July 15th. And if you make sure that you're the first 100, be sure that you have it saved on your calendar because we have quite a few signups on our email list already. And if you're one of the first ones, you get the best deal.
If you got the money to pay for it when you get the phone call from you guys, you're
Well,
in
as
line.
they say, you got the money, honey. I
got the time.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't have any money for singing lessons, but they
No.
might have some money for a really, really nice watch.
Jenna, thank you so much for
Awesome-
joining us
awesome
today.
idea. How cool
it
is
truly,
that?
it truly is. Auto enthusiast, watch designer, and it's the Olympus Watch Company. Go online and check it out. We're looking forward to
This
seeing
is
the
on-
first one.
yeah.
And when you get the one back, give us a call. We want to put it on the air.
We'll
and,
have.
and we want to see your Vantage when you get your Vantage as well.
We'll make time for you. We'll make time.
We'll make time.
Thanks
Oh,
for having
gosh.
me.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so
We
much.
Time
appreciate
to
it.
clock out.
All right, time now for Conrad's Car Clinic. What are we talking about
Well,
today?
this is also going to be an evolution of the 3 week ago. Remember, I started the 10
week
driving
ago.
tips to stay safe on the road.
How'd that work out for
well,
you?
we got through 5 of them. Wear a seatbelt always, never drive distracted, never drive under the influence influence of alcohol, drugs, or medication. Make adjustments for weather conditions and don't speed. Those are the first 5. The next 5 are avoid driving when you're exhausted. You know, a big driving problem is people who are behind the wheel extended periods of time and they kind of start dozing off and wandering around the lanes. Well, if you feel like you're getting there, pull off and take a 10, 15-minute power nap. It's amazing how refreshing that can be. Also, tip number 7 is give pedestrians the right of way at crosswalks, because by law you have to. You can't just mow them over, even though they step out in front of you. But they have the right when they get out in a crosswalk, and you have the responsibility to stop.
Does that work for the same thing with a guy with a big lawn blower? I had a guy step off the curb in front of me on the feeder of Highway 90A.
Oh, gosh.
We're all doing 60 miles an hour, and he steps off and gets ticked at me for going past him at 50 because I've slowed down. Are you kidding?
Can't you
I
put
want
like
to
the little,
slap him.
the little people on the side of your fender like they used to do
Like counting kids in the back window?
Yeah.
Always stop for school buses when their lights are flashing, and you have to stop both directions.
Right.
And the only time you don't have to stop is when there is a median,
Divided
highway, not 5 lanes with a turn lane in the middle. You still have to stop at that. But if there's a grass median divided highway, then the other direction can continue to go on. So keep a spare tire and a working jack in your car. Well, that's 2 of them I'm not going to do.
And this is your segment.
And even if you had it, you couldn't get to it.
My Corvette has no spare and it has no jack.
You have an inflatable.
No.
You have a can of inflator stuff.
No.
Oh, it's supposed to have a can of inflator stuff.
No, it's the
got
run
a
flat
pump.
tires.
The run flats.
The run flats.
Okay. Well, run flats drive like heck.
They are awful.
Yes, they are.
I've had to do it once.
Are you sure they're run flats?
No.
No, they're supposed to be. They were from the factory, run flats.
That's
Do you
not-
know the C5, when it was first released by Chevrolet, came with a tire road hazard warranty? Even if you hit something in the road and damaged the tire, General Motors would replace the tire for you for free. Do you know they never told anybody that on purpose?
Well, I wouldn't either, yeah.
Well, and then number 10 is take a defensive driving course. Defensive driving courses can give you a discount on your insurance. And
Have you ever taken one of those?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. I took one at a
I
comedy
used to
store.
take one once a year.
My God.
Took one at a comedy store, and one of the
I took one at a
examples
comedy
was
store, too.
the person was going down to Galveston. They were towing their big race boat, and they got pulled over by 90 miles an hour and a 50, and I raised my hand to say, was it a speedboat?
Oh, gosh.
I got extra credit.
Well, and one of the things we're going to offer all of our followers is after the show today, about 15 minutes after the show, there's going to be a link posted for drivesafeonline.org, and my company is going to pay get you a 50% discount for online driving course. And it's just, you don't even have to go to a comedy club anymore. You can just take an online
There
driving
aren't
course.
anymore.
Does the state of
They don't
Texas
even
accept
have that
that?
Yes, this is a state of Texas approved.
They don't. I haven't seen any. I think all of the in-class
It's
things
gone
are
away.
on.
Everything's online,
it's
right?
Oh,
all-
yeah, it's all online.
But, BG Products will get you a half-price discount on it.
Pay the ransom.
I thought I was
And
going to
that's-
need that this morning.
Well, you need it every morning
No,
with the on-ramp acceleration test.
I saw the lights come on behind us, and I was hoping the guy next to me was the one that was going to get it.
Oh Lord.
That's the 10 driving tips to stay safe on the road.
What were the first 5?
Yeah, no, we don't want to go back. Oh Lord, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I got a couple of stories that want to get in, since we have a little extra time here.
I could have gone longer.
No.
I could have gone longer.
I can always go longer.
U.S. traffic deaths soared dramatically after coronavirus
Don can't go
lockdowns
longer.
ended in 2020, hitting the
Not anymore.
highest yearly total since 2007.
Really?
As more Americans engaged in unsafe behavior on U.S. roads, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety
Wearing their
Administration.
mask over their face.
For all of 2020, 38,680 people died on U.S. roads. That's up 7.2%, or nearly
That's a
2,600 more than in 2019, even though Americans drove 13% fewer miles, preliminary data shows. The fatality rate hit 1.37 deaths per 100 million miles, the highest figure since 2006. What's going on here?
That's mind-boggling because if you remember, during the beginning of COVID, all the way through,
Nobody was on the roads.
the roads were empty. So I guess the only ones who were on the roads were nuts.
Well, they're driving faster was part of the problem. I read some stuff on that.
Well, because there was nobody on the road.
Because nobody on the road, so the accidents are worse.
Deaths involving motorists not wearing seat belts were up 15%. Speeding-related deaths jumped by 10%, and fatal crashes involving alcohol rose 9%.
I'm good on 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
For as empty as the roads were,
Correct.
to see a 7% growth in fatalities.
I tell you what, I saw a lot of one-car accidents with people unable to control the speed.
Yeah.
Run into a wall, run into things. Crazy.
Yeah, and if you drink too much liquor, you lose your hearing in your right eye.
Only Jeff would know that. Just saying. Tesla Incorporated's Model 3 sedan was stripped of its top pick status by Consumer Reports, which cited the temporary loss of automatic emergency braking and other safety features. The influential nonprofit consumer research organization said Thursday it removed the designation after Tesla ditched radar as a supplement to its camera-based sensors, a move that temporarily suspended several advanced safety systems. Consumer Reports said its scoring of the Model 3 dropped by 3 points to 75, but it was still good enough to retain its recommended status.
See,
but
that added to the 7% growth.
Yep.
And I would think that a lot had to do with this recent rash of people trying to get out and have their car drive itself,
Right.
which it's not equipped to do, from the back seat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the autonomous driving isn't here yet. And
But
Tesla promoted the fact that the car would drive itself, especially out on the highway. They just wanted you to stay close to it.
Yeah, but it's like
pay
the
attention.
old story of the guy in the RV that puts it in cruise control and gets up and goes back and makes a
Takes a nap.
sandwich.
Get a beer.
May 27th, Tesla filed applications with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to use its T logo design in 2 other iterations of its Tesla stylized logo for use in the, roll the drum please, in the food industry. Ooh. All 3 applications are for restaurant services, pop-up restaurant services, self-service restaurant services, takeout restaurant services. They are filed under a provision of trademark law indicating that Tesla intends to use the mark but has not yet done so. If the application is approved, the registration will not take effect until it is used. Indeed, Elon Musk first revealed plans to launch a tequila in 2018 after registering for the Tesla-quila trademark.
You gotta admit, the man is genius and he knows how to make money.
Yes, he is.
I mean, he really is a genius.
I know. I agree totally, 100%.
So they're going to use an autonomous delivery system to deliver your tequila and tacos.
Or your autonomous driving vehicle you can sit in the back seat with your tray and do shots and have nachos.
That's it.
No, it's got to be tacos. It has to start with the T.
And if you need to know more
okay.
about this, ask your
or
pharmacist
tamales.
Tacos and tamales and tequila. There you go.
I asked my
That's a good
pharmacist a lot more questions back in my 20s
Yeah,
and 30s
but he's talking
than I
about
do
during
today.
business hours.
Yeah, but your pharmacist was in the back of a 67 Chevelle.
Your pharmacist
Or
was
a
under
VW.
Hey, man, let me
VW bus.
check this stuff out. It's a 2-hit wonder.
Send your cards and letters too.
You know,
Info at InWheelTime.
we've decided that this show is only 3 hours long. Thank God for everybody. And Elon Musk said the chip shortage is wreaking havoc on Tesla's supply chain and blamed companies ordering more microcontrollers than they need, much like consumers hoarded toilet paper in the early days of the pandemic.
Hey.
Quote,
Oh, gosh.
our biggest challenge is supply chain, especially microcontroller chips. Never seen anything like it. He said, fear of running out is causing every company to overorder, like toilet paper shortage but at epic scale.
Do you think that they're cutting off catalytic converters in the middle of the night? Do you think people are going to be stealing chips?
What's up with that? This is the second go-round of that. Is it just the publicity of it? Because
there's value in the
I
cut-off.
understand that, but this was a thing 5, 6, 7 years ago. And now all of a sudden it's a thing again.
Well, now because the noble metals that are inside of it, the palladium and such, is worth even more than it was 5 years ago.
Did you ever see anything at the Palladium?
No, I want to play at the Palladium.
Do you want to play at the Palladium?
I do.
I can't believe they've got a metal called Palladium.
And Red Rock. I want to go to Red Rock.
I've been to Red Rock.
I want to play there.
I've been there. And it's Red Rocks, I think.
Red Rock.
But
oh, my goodness,
it's in
here
Colorado.
we go.
They had recreational.
And let me tell you something. It was in abundance when I went there. And
it was in a bud?
It was in a bud.
It was in a bud.
It was truly an adventure. I can promise you that. Well, I guess.
Thanks, Katie.
I didn't partake.
But you went with Katie, didn't you?
I did go with Katie.
Katie didn't partake either.
No, she did not.
No.
Not this time. At
My goodness, here we go.
Here we go. Well, it's time now to take a break, and we will be right back to wrap up today's show after these brief messages. We all know about aftermarket and online parts stores, and each one has something to offer, but they don't offer original factory parts. That's where Bayway comes in. For original factory parts, visit the Bayway stores first. Give them a call or stop by. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln carry a complete line of parts for the do-it-yourselfer. Keeping your newer classic original means a lot, and you can count on these fully stocked parts departments to help keep it that way. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Bayway Chevy, and Bayway Lincoln, keeping it original. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, June 19th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, June 19th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday morning, June 19th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. Inside the Loop, visit Tailpipes and Tacos on the Southwest Freeway at Shepherd, weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Well, that's it for this episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. When you're on Facebook, please give us a like. Tell your friends about us and share our junk. You'll get Conrad's unicorn hunting features all week long with all things automotive. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available from your favorite podcast outlet. A special thanks to all of our guests today. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is the fabulous David Ainsley. Our Marketing Manager and Video Technical Director, we need more Jeff Zekin. For Booking Agent, Podcast Man, Mike Out of This World Mars. His royalty, King Conrad DeLong. Don Armstrong here. Be sure and join us each and every Saturday for our 3-hour live broadcast across a multitude of audio and video streaming platforms right here on the Spoke and Mirrors Network.
Yep.
Today's show is produced by New Bomb Turk and the rest of the Hollywood Knights. Mark your calendar to join us for our special broadcast from the Wheelchair for Warriors Car Show at Bayway Chevrolet on Sunday, June 13th from 2 to 5 p.m. Or better yet, come on out and give us a support. So So long for now. Have a super deluxe weekend, and we will see you right here, same place, same bat channel, same time.
Oh, yeah.
Next Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then. Have a good week.